Okay. Stop buying your kids what you never had and start teaching your kids what you never knew. It is vital. If we are just buying them what we never had, okay, and I'm sure you've been in middle school just like your kids have been in middle school or elementary or high school. I'm not just going to say which year. Middle school was the one for me, but it becomes a fashion show. It becomes a, if the child's attachment is not strong with their parent and they have this safe, secure, like they are amazing for who they are, not for what they're wearing or what they're doing for us, expectations that they're meeting for us, and they're just loved unconditionally for who they are. If we don't show them that, they will start looking for that. And they do, because it becomes a thing in school. And so you're buying them all the shoes, all the clothes, all the this, all the that, if you can, right? If you can afford it, you're buying them all kinds of stuff. Or they'll get to the point where they're going to get those things by all means necessary, because they're in a survival mode at school. Everybody has some void most of the time that is needing filled, but showing any signs of weakness in school is like automatically going to put a target on your back, to be talked about, to be this, to be that. And so if you're not getting that, if you don't have that safe attachment at home, and it's more than just clothes and shoes and stuff like that, then it's gonna affect them every day, every single day, with who they are closer to, who they do see every day, who they do spend more time. When we're in school, we spend more time with our peers than we do, obviously, with our parents. They're at work. So minimum 8 hours, you're with your peers, and then if you have any school activities or just after school programs, it's an extra 2 to 4 hours, okay? So it was at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's 12 hours. 12 hours. 12 hours away from your parent. Then you get home and it's time to eat. Everybody walking through the door like this. Parents pretty much tired and the kid is pretty much tired, and entertain yourself, go to bed, get up, do it all over again, So it is hard for parents because they don't get to spend that much time, okay? But when we just give up on it and say, well, the school, that they learn what they need to learn, they'll whatever, it gets dangerous because, for one, if you're less involved because you gotta make a living and provide for your kids, you just on go. You're not engaged in what they're learning in school, what they're taking in. But you do see certain changes, like you're walking like this now, you're talking like this. Well, they're new role models, and who they're taking cues from when they're supposed to be taking for adults is their peers. So that's who validates them. That's who gives them, so that's their new goal. So then they come home and they're expected to do all, do these rules, to listen to me. It's just a given. I'm your parent. You're supposed to listen to me. You're supposed to this, supposed to that, supposed to that. But they spend the least amount of time, But then they spend a lot of time with their friends, and their friends say, hey, we going to whatever. You down, or you going to get... It's literally by all means necessary. And the consequences and repercussions are not in their mind, okay? It's just, I feel included. I feel a part of something. And they're just filling a void temporarily every single day with whoever they're attached to. And there's no guarantee that they're going to still be their friend tomorrow. So they are doing whatever to feel included, okay? Now, if you look at us as adults, we do the same thing. We will buy these clothes and shoes and this and that and look polished, or look this and look that, and we will get a certain response from others that fills this void temporarily, because we're also probably going through an attachment hunger, and we get into relationships or stay in relationships that are clearly not, doing us any purpose, or, we're just, we're occupied because we're trying to fill a void that we think is normal. The world tells you it's pretty normal. I mean, they're fine. You're gonna find someone. You're gonna whatever. But you're literally could be looking for someone to just hold you at night. But this person that is somewhat available to hold you at night and give you that security that you always yearned for as a child, could probably come under some conditions. Like, I will if you do this, or I will if you do that. So now you, as the adult, as the parent, is doing things that you wouldn't do if that void was filled and you always had that safe attachment, with your parent. You wouldn't be doing or going these limits, to do that. So then if you would think, if your child would be like, well, if they say you're going to jump or you're going to get up at 3 in the morning or you're going to risk your life for that, it's not that you're dumb, but it's you're chasing a void. You're chasing to fill a void or keep a void filled at all times that you've never relayed to your kid. So then, and even, just show them, like, it would be nice if you come together and say, okay, I see there's something that you're doing, which is actually something that I'm doing as well. Just be honest. Parents, may not know everything, and that's okay. And expressing that you may not know the answer to some question, to your child, is way more important, and it comes across way more, understandably and respectably than it does acting like you know it all and you know the answer. And whatever comes to your head, because parenting has no manual, it's like, well, blah, blah, blah. This is it. And just go with it and stick with it, So, but if you have this conversation with your kid and show that you understand or have been in that space, or you look at your kid a lot of times and you see yourself and you're like, dang, I went through that same thing, or I went through that, and don't look at it like, I don't want to seem like I'm a bad person. I don't want to seem like I knew what I was doing, a bad parent, or I don't know what I'm doing. It would just be so much more meaningful, and it's that attachment thing where you find out, like, you know what? Hey, I see you're struggling with this, and that reminds me so much of me. I was struggling in an area, and this was the circumstance. You don't have to go so deep, but you can let them know that you dealt with that same thing, or you're dealing with it right now, still to this day. And that's why you've made certain decisions that your kids may look at you and be like, why would you even do that? Or why are you even still with this person? Like, clearly they're no good for you, right? And that's the same thing as parents. They're looking like, why are you they are not your friend. Do you not see that? That's clear that they're not your friend, but we want them to take heed to that. But we're still doing what we're doing. We have it's like our reason that we think is valid while we're doing what we're doing, or keep staying in situations that we're not supposed to be in, or that is just proving us that it's a bad relationship or situation. For some reason, we invalidate theirs and their reason because they're not the same age or haven't seen some things that we've seen, and they should be more understanding to ours, but we're not going to be understanding, and that causes a whole different kind of thing. But when they have peers, when they don't have that bond with you because they're seeing a lot of stuff, they're not expressing it, they don't know how to communicate it, or you've probably already gave them a lot of fear. Do not speak on nothing. I'm grown. I can do what I want. You get what I'm trying to say? Or then that causes them to go to their peers who are in the same age range, and they're around them the most, and they're influenced by them the most. And there it is. There's a cycle. That's a vicious cycle. That's a vicious battle. And that's why a lot of kids are, and like you were once upon a time when you were younger, I can't wait till I get older. It seems like I can do whatever I want to do. I can this, and that. You're not even thinking of no repercussions. All you can think of is what your feeling a void in right now. When I become an adult, it seems like I have so much more freedom. I can do this and that. So then you become an adult and you're yearning for that freedom. You can do whatever it is that you want, but you weren't equipped with the things that you needed to know. Like all the clothes and the shoes and the outfits and the pictures and the Instagram and the views and all that stuff, it literally do not do anything for you when you become an adult and it's time to maintain and sustain yourself. It doesn't. It's like, okay, well, now it's like, well, dang, I wish my mom showed me, or my dad showed me, or my grandma showed, whoever my guardian was, or dang, I wish I would have known this, because now I'm in need. They're saying, hey, get you in a, oh God, that was a stink bug. But get you an apartment, get you this, get you, get your own place. This is what you need to do. Get your job, this and that. And it's like, okay. But then when they start finding out what it costs to sustain, and it's like, dang, well, nobody told me that. All they told me was, all right, when you get older, you're gonna have bills. You're gonna this and that. They're like, they don't. You're not relaying anything to them. But they did have the looks of it. They look like they had a good childhood, or in your head, since they had you gave them a better childhood than you had, and whatever that meant to you, whether it was having more clothes, whether it was having more money, what was never saying no to this kid because somebody told you no and never gave you, but none of those help you. And I have a life skills program that I am going to be launching soon. And because I know that parents don't always have time, or maybe not have the words to communicate, they don't even know where to begin to teach their kids to how to be able to sustain themselves when they get older, or they, like I said, or they don't have time. I have a program that I am going to launch soon, and it will, I will take care of that for you, but it will pay off. It will pay off. You enrolling your kid and them learning something that they can take with them, it's going to pay off. It's going to cost them less than getting out here and not even knowing what the difference between a deposit and a withdrawal is. Interest rates and this and that, those are vital things to know about. And if they're like, okay, I'm supposed to get a place. Oh, they said, okay, I need to have this much. Oh, okay, well, I'm just going to go work. Oh, but I got to, okay, well, I don't have enough money. Oh, but this company said, here, we'll give you $4,000, or we'll give you this credit card, or we'll give you this, and that. And they're like, okay, cool. I need just this much. Then I'll have a little bit left to get me some, and they get so tied in, and they don't have enough in the get-go to even get that, and then let alone have enough to sustain it. And they don't know just the simple things of, okay, I brought $4,000. Why am I paying $6,000 or $8,000 back? I don't understand. Like, why is this not going down, And then stuff starts settling in, and that's a whole different kind of disappointment. It's like, dang, I wish I would have known, but I had to do what I had to do. And then if you hear people come up and just say, well, why did you get that? Why didn't you just ask me? Why didn't you, So instead of setting our kids up like that, instead of setting our parents up, these kids get into situations and they know, well, shoot, I'm just going to ask my mom or my dad or my whoever, and they'll pay for it. And mom and dad are about ready to retire. They're ready to, they got an empty nest. They're ready. It's not that they're not wanting to be their parent anymore, but they're definitely, they wasn't ready expecting for you to go get $100,000, $120,000, $300,000. Oh, I'm supposed to get a home. They said first time buyers, boom, debt. And then it's like, oh shoot, well, I got sick, or I couldn't, or maybe just not what I want to do anymore. How do I just give this house back? I don't want it anymore. And you're like, huh? That's not how it works. These tools, these life skills are vital for these kids to know and to have before they enter adulthood. Because you can look at statistics, and next time I'll show you the statistics, but just not knowing, just not having the tools get you into the freedom. It's the yearn for freedom without the proper tools can make life disastrous for not only that child, but for the parents, and it's coming soon. And I have something, and so don't give up, but you can't just do like how we do with the schools, and we just give our kids to the schools and they teach them what they teach them, and the scores need to say this and have this because of GPA, and keep it moving. It can't be like that. You will still have to be involved. You need to be a part of it, because You are their parent, you know, and I will teach you how to fill your voids and be able to respond to them, to these kids as they're learning and as they're changing, and even learn from them. Learn from your child. It is nothing wrong with you learning, showing that you, just like a little kid, you tell, hey, you teach me how to do this. I don't know how to do this math problem. How do I do this? Okay. Little they know they're learning at the same time. They're learning how to communicate, but you really ask them. They're so sweet. Teach me how to do that. What's that 20 plus 15? They're like, okay, well, this is what you do. You do that. And they're so proud, right? And they feel so good. They feel so good in that moment because they feel like, I get to teach, I get to show mommy how to do this, or daddy how to do this, or grandma how to do this. It makes them feel so good, But a whole bunch of someone telling you that they already know, they know it all, they know how you feel, they know this and that, and then to find out that you're wrong, that they're wrong about how you feel, that's a different kind of, and it's like, okay, I'll shut down, I won't express anything with you, and now you're wondering why they won't look at me, why they won't listen to me, why they won't this and that, why it seems like, okay, only when I buy them stuff, it seems like they cooperate, so I'm just going to keep buying them stuff. That's what it ends up boiling down to, okay? But none of that does nothing for them, okay? So, anyways, it's kind of a rant, but the biggest thing was, the main quote was, stop buying your kids what you never had and start teaching them what you never knew. You've been through enough life experiences so far, okay? There is something that you can teach your child, and go into depth and just learn how to converse. If conversing is a thing, like, admit that, like, okay, let's work on this together. Okay, I didn't know that's how you truly felt. Okay, I had that. It sounds like you sound so familiar. Like, it's okay. Well, that means I never dealt with that, and I didn't model it. Maybe I didn't model it right or respond to it right, and so now I just responded the way that my mother or father or whoever responded to me, and exactly how that made me feel when they responded that way. I either shut down or I reacted the same way that you're reacting. But all I know is to do what they said, like how they did it. And now here we are repeating the cycle. Let's break this cycle. Let's try this. There's nothing wrong with it. Thank you so much for listening. If you came this far, my Life Skills program will be launching soon. It will be so worth it, and it's so needed. Thank you.